Wow, our very own Link is coming to Super Mario Maker 2. What an incredible update. I think it will give us a lot of room for exciting ways to tackle puzzle solving. In the trailer, we learned that Mario is now able to pick up the Master Sword and transform into Link. This time around, it won't be just a simple cosmetic change, but it will give you a lot more abilities that Mario doesn't have. Kill enemies with your sword, stop projectiles with your shield, throw bombs, and much more. I can't wait till 5 December to try this out. But this got me thinking, how awesome would it be to get even more characters in there? As we have seen, the Link character is only usable in the classic Mario Bros. Style from the NES. So which characters would be a great fit to give us even more tools to do some creative puzzle solving in Mario Maker? Here are 5 characters that are also from the NES that I think would work perfectly in Mario Maker 2. Let's go! And let's begin with a blobby circle that we all love. Kirby! Imagine Kirby being in Mario Maker 2. That would give us a lot of interesting design choices. Think of the possibilities. First and foremost, Kirby's main gimmick could be a perfect way to solve puzzles. And that gimmick is to swallow someone and gain their abilities. Just make it so that Kirby can swallow all Mario enemies in the game. Sometimes nothing will happen, with a Goomba for instance, but when Kirby absorbs a Koopa, it could gain its shell, to shell dash and break through walls. Or what about absorbing Spike, who will also be added with the Link update, so Kirby can vomit out spiky balls to throw at enemies, or to push through some obstacles. I think it could give us a lot of interesting extra moves. Another thing what makes Kirby unique is the ability to fly, so now you can make a lot more vertical levels. Or stages where you have to fly but enemies keep attacking you from all sides. Kirby would be a really exciting choice, but one that might be difficult to implement because of all the abilities he can turn into. But who says that it has to be a Nintendo character? He might not be in Smash, so why not put him in Super Mario Maker 2? Ryu Hayabusa, who also made a successful debut with the NES. Of course, Ryu is much more action heavy than Mario. But seeing as his game is a 2D side-scroller as well, it can make for some unique extra options to implement in the Super Mario Bros. Style. And with a character that loves to fight, it's much better to make levels with lots of enemies. Ryu's standard attack is swinging his katana around, but he can also use throwing stars and blaze enemies away with fire. But it's not only that. Much like Mario's wall jump, Ryu is able to jump off walls. But what makes it even better is that he can stick to it without sliding down instantly. This way you can make some cool levels with moving vertical platforms, where you have to jump at exactly the right moment, because otherwise you will fall to your doom. So if you want to see some more action heavy levels, then I think Ryu is the best way to go. And while we have Link in the game, why not add someone that could make good use of some of the same moveset? Pit from Kid Icarus. There isn't much to say about this really. Now that we have seen that Link can use his bow in the game, Pit is an obvious choice. As in his NES game, that's the weapon that you will be using the most, while traversing vertical levels and fighting enemies. And that's actually most that there is to this game. Now in later games, Pit's moveset would be expanded, which you can also see in Super Smash. But in his original he was just a sad boy, with wings, and a bow. But it does perfectly illustrate how they could add more characters without too much effort. We have the bow mechanic, and later games Pit can use a shield, so we can copy that as well. And voila! A classic Kid Icarus experience for you in Mario Maker. This really would be an easy character to implement. And if they have the time, then why not, I would say. It will most certainly be a lot easier than getting Kirby in. One character that I think will fall in the middle of that spectrum is Mega Man. I mean, how cool would that be? It isn't like he has that many crazy animations. You can jump, shoot bullets, a charge beam, and slide like a slick dog. Unless you want to add all the special attacks that he gets from defeating bosses. Then it will be a bit more difficult to implement. But let's just say that he just has his standard attacks to begin with. Again, he isn't developed by Nintendo as he is a Capcom character. But that shouldn't keep him from being added to the game. Because when I saw that Link got in, Mega Man was the character that I had in mind immediately after that. Imagine him running down these levels, gunning down Koopas and Goombas. It would be a perfect fit, with some awesome classic Mega Man tracks in the background. I think the Mega Man series lends itself perfectly for these types of creative levels. In the beginning, most sequels to the game stayed pretty true to the original, with not a lot of deviating from what made Mega Man so good. And that was fine. as that showed us that a lot is possible with Mega Man's level design, even if you keep his moves the same. There are a lot of possibilities for this boy here, so I hope that if they would add one character that isn't from Nintendo, that it would be him. And for my top pick, I would have to say Samus from Metroid. I think there is so much room to do awesome stuff here. Backtracking is of course an important staple of the Super Metroid series, so why not make it so that while your Samus suit is activated, that you are able to unlock new abilities and weapons while progressing through the Mario Maker levels. Just like regular power-ups that you have for Mario. To start off, just be in your regular suit with your laser beam, enhanced jumping, and your ball form for instance. But while progressing you will unlock other stuff, like your ice beam, sprint, and rockets to destroy specific objects. Now I know the sprint for instance wasn't in the original Metroid, but neither was it in the original Legend of Zelda, and Link is also able to use that in his moveset in Mario Maker. So I think we can be a bit lenient here. A Samus suit would give the Mario Maker levels a nice combat element. Plus, like I said, you can design levels where you have to come back to a certain area. I would love it if we can get these tools that can really replicate that Metroid feel. We can only hope that in the future we will see something like this. And that's just a handful of them. But I believe it is an incredibly good move from the Super Mario Maker team to get Link in there. I made DLC videos on Super Mario Maker 2 before, but we haven't heard about this game in a long time. So for them to come in guns blazing with a new character leaves a lot of room for possibilities. And I can't wait to get my hands on Link December 5th. So, if you got to pick a character or multiple of them to add to Super Mario Maker 2, then who would it be? And how would a moveset for them look like in the game? Let me know in the comments as I'm curious what you have to say. And if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel as I will dissect more of this update once it releases. I also have a lot of other cool Nintendo stuff on the channel. Leaving a like also instantly makes you a very cool person. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.